Take a look at the best scoring nights throughout NBA history, and you will see a list of the greatest players to ever play the game. Jordan 69, Steph 62, Lillard 71, Luka's 73, Kobe Bryant's famous 81.
And none of them fucking stat padded, nigga.
It's the most coveted record book in all of basketball, a testament and historical evidence of the greatest nights in NBA history by some of the greatest players in NBA history. Which begs the question, what the hell is Bam Adebayo doing here with a mind-boggling modern NBA record of...
We gotta strike that from the record, bro. We have to strike that from the record, bro. We have to. I saw some people saying Kobe fans being, they didn't want nobody to break Kobe's record. I don't give a fuck if niggas break Kobe's record. Records are meant to be broken. Cooper Flag just broke one of Kobe's youngest player to get this many points records. I don't care, bro. Cooper Flag wasn't fucking busy stat padding all year. It's the fact that it was done unethically, bro. That's what fucking pissed me off. It's not that a record was broken, bro.
83 points.
Why don't LeBron drop 83?
This, my friends.
Because if you're, most of the time, if you have 83 points, it means you're destroying the other team. So you sub out your best player who has 83 points in the fourth quarter. In this instance, he had a lot of points heading into the fourth, and they just fed him all fourth the entire time. It's unethical, bro. And I want you to know that if you've been against people abusing the rules, foul baiting and stuff like that over the years, calling that unethical, but you think there's nothing wrong with the way Bam got his 83 points, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, buddy. If you are on one side when it comes to ethic hoops, and on the other side when it comes to ethic hoops, technically they both play by the rules. But it's one was done ethically, one was done unethically. That's the only way. That's facts.
Is the result of quite possibly the most egregious case of stat padding the NBA has ever seen. And despite scoring the second most points in a single game in the history of the NBA, Bam's 83-point night will go down as one of the most shocking and controversial games we may ever see.
If you think about it, it is the...
Today's video is sponsored.
If you think about it, it is like the most coveted record, bro. Like, what's a more important record? People care more about the points record than they do about like the amount of championships. Nah, that's not true. Championships might be the most. This is the second most.
In the fourth quarter, the Heat were up 146 to 119. By all conceivable measures, this game was a blowout. It's over. But with that being the case, why is Drew Smith attempting a full court heave while his team is up nearly 30 points on a piss-poor Wizards team? Well, he's not. He's trying to get the ball to Bam Adebayo, who is being double-teamed.
I also want you to know, your center that's known for rebounding and defense, being the first one on the fast break. Come on, gang. That's 2K17 prime strats. That's how we feed players so you can get high point games we could post on YouTube.
50 feet away from the ball because he has 79 points and absolutely no intention of subbing out of this game. At this point, the only way Bam is going to add to his historic total will be at the free throw line because Washington is now guarding him with their entire roster. And what started as a normal basketball game has now become a full-blown circus act. But it didn't start this way. In just the first quarter of this game, Bam Adebayo had 31 points, the second most points scored in the first quarter of a game in NBA history. By halftime, Bam had 43, already a career high, and the second most points scored in the first half of a game in NBA history. Going into the third, the Wizards still had no answer for Bam. His points still flooding in, both naturally in the flow of the game and ethically. By the end of the third, Bam had 62 points, which, you guessed it, is the second most points through 3 quarters in NBA history. Before the start of the fourth quarter, Bam's performance was already being celebrated by his teammates and fans. He had broken LeBron's franchise scoring record of 61. He set a new career high, and the Heat were blowing the Wizards out by 20. And it is at this point where Bam and his coaching staff are left with a decision. Stay in the game and build onto an already substantial lead. Leave the floor and sub out as the hero of the night, or stay in the game and potentially chase the league's scoring record. What decision should they make? Well, it just so happens that I covered this exact predicament in my last video, where I asked the question, is it possible to score 100 points in an NBA game? The final verdict? Yes. It is possible.
100%.
The only problem? The circumstances required to have such a game are so unlikely that we will probably never see 100 points ever again. Unless a player is willing to infringe on the integrity of the game itself.
Yes!
There have been many games throughout the years that had record-breaking potential, but for a few reasons, most notably the game being a blowout and the potential record breaker respectively sitting the final quarter, there have been very few instances where a player was able to genuinely chase—
Yo, Ron, thank you for that 5 gig of sub, Ron! Appreciate that, Ron!
the record without any negative consequences. How did Bam Adebayo drop the most points in modern NBA history on a random Tuesday night in March?
Great respect to let him play. History of the NBA. Now 3. Bam.
They fucking suck, man. The Wizards fucking suck.
By choosing option C and infringing on the integrity of the game. In what could have been a celebrated, memorable, and ethical performance, Bam and the Heat decided to go a different route. With about 9 minutes left in this game, Bam had this incredible and one. A blow-by followed up with this great acrobatic finish at the rim
They
through
fucking
contact.
suck, bro.
And
Them
an
niggas can't play
explosion
fucking
from the
defense,
fans
man.
in the arena. And after hitting the free throw, this would have been the ideal and historically acceptable moment for Bam to check out of this game. It was his 70th point of the night. Miami had the game all but wrapped up. And up to this point, all of his points were ethical, non-GMO, farm-raised buckets. But instead, Bam stayed in the game. And here is how he scored his final 13 points. Free throw, free throw, free throw, free throw, miss 3, layup, free throw, miss 3, turnover, miss 3, miss 3, free throw, free throw, free throw, free throw, intentional miss free throw, attempting to manufacture more points, free throw, free throw. Bye-bye Kobe, hello Bam. In what is now being called the most unethical game of basketball the league has ever seen, the Miami Heat spent the final 7 minutes of this game executing every conceivable tactic to manufacture more points for Bam Adebayo. Chucking up unnecessary threes, intentionally fouling the Wizards to get possession, even going as far as intentionally missing a free throw to try to get the ball back to Bam.
Come on, man. Look, if I was a Heat fan, I would be happy that Bam broke the record. At least not the record, but got second most. But I would still be like, damn, we are some hoes for the way we played. Come on, man. This is the type of shit that make niggas want to kick you from your 2K lobby. Doing it in the highest form of basketball you can play. Feel me? Like, if niggas did this at the rec, I would be annoyed. I'd be like, damn, what the fuck we doing, bro? Why we doing this? But missing free throws? Intentionally fouling? Cherry picking?
And as a result, they are quickly discovering why Kobe's modern scoring record stood for so long and why no one can seem to match it, despite a number of players getting close. Because, wait, I actually already said this a week ago. Let me find the clip real quick. 100 points in a single game is possible, but the circumstances required to have such a game, to justify one player taking that many shots and doing so without infringing on the integrity of the game, is so narrow that we may never see it happen again. Ah, that's right. The fallout for unapologetically chasing out. Yeah. This is truly a definitive and timeless paradox of big performances. Historic nights like this have become less about can a player pull it off and more about do the circumstances require a player to pull it off, in which case the circumstances virtually never do. This performance from Bam is not only proof of that, but it is evidence of what we all have known to be the truth. There are many players around the league right now who could go for 80, 90, maybe even 100 points on the right night. If they set their mind to it, if them and their team game plan for it, if it is their sole focus for 48 minutes, if the Washington Wizards are on their schedule. But even attempting something like this would require a player to break the unwritten rules of basketball. And that clearly isn't worth the backlash of possibly pulling it off. It isn't worth it. So what were the fruits of Bam's labor? The second most points in a single game in NBA history, the most free throw attempts in a single game in NBA history, by far NBA history.
You know why this is fucking sad? Anybody that knows anything about the NBA knows why all these players are on here. There's a reason DeAndre Jordan is on here, Andre Drummond, and Dwight Howard. So the fact that he had more attempts than people being hacked, I'm surprised Shaq's not on here.
Attempts in a single game in NBA history, by far the most free throws made in a game in NBA history, and the 5th most three-pointers attempted in a game. Oh, and he also broke the record for the most criticism received by a single player in one game. Now, if we ignore all context and what it took to get there, according to the game score metric, which takes all the good things a player does in the box score minus all the bad things and spits out a number that attempts to reflect the impact a player had on a game, Bam had statistically the 6th best game in NBA history, which is unfortunate that it will not be remembered as such. In my last video, I used this chart to display the greatest scoring nights in NBA history and the pace these players were on to reach their final totals. For example, here's Luka's 73, here's Booker's 70, Lillard's 71, here's Kobe's 81, and here is Bam's 83. Through 3 quarters, he was tied for the 2nd most points all time going into the 4th. In fact, that and 1 bucket in the 4th quarter that I mentioned earlier is right here. All of his buckets leading up to this point were non-forced ethical buckets within the—
Bro, the nigga had a chance to bro could, he wanted number 2 so bad. Like, I've never seen a nigga want number 2 that bad. Feel me? He had 70 points, ethically incredible game. Niggas up there with the Luka Doncic's and the Damian Lillards of the world, and he wanted number 2 that bad.
Game. Bam Adebayo was playing out of his mind, better than anyone ever has in modern NBA history.
Yeah, we gotta find the Washington Wizards, bro.
Shameless scoring tactics were deployed.
We gotta find the Wizards a few $1 million, my nigga.
Took place here.
This is their fault.
The final 9 minutes of the game. All of this is
people should watch Kobe's 81. Kobe and Bam had very similar. Only difference is Kobe wanted to win the game because they were losing at half. Are you out of your fucking mind? Nigga, I was watching it. You know why? Because he did it to my team. And we all talked about it the next morning. I was alive for it. I don't need to watch the highlights. I was there. We watched it live, and then we were all embarrassed when we woke up the next day. I seen it. Kobe wasn't missing free throws to farm buckets. He wasn't cherry picking. Kobe's just a volume shooter. So the nigga will pull up with 3 niggas in his face. Facts. But when you have the green light, your name is Kobe to Bean Bryant, and you're on the pace for 81 points, that's what the fuck you do.
Invalid because of this.
You can't stat pad when your team's fucking losing, dickhead.
The Warriors used to get willed to 100 were outrageous and would never be used in the modern NBA.
Nigga try to compare Kobe's performance with Bam. That's straight rage bait.
We're watching a center get triple teamed 94 feet out while up 25 with no admissible reason for him still being on the court.
You have 43 free throws. You compare the performances.
Final minute tactics are worth discrediting this entire performance. 83 points is 83 points. Regardless of how you go about getting them, you still have to go out and get them. The irony of this whole thing is that I've seen a lot of comments about how this game was proof for some fans that Wilt Chamberlain actually did score 100 back in 1962, despite there being no video evidence. If Bam can get to 83, Wilt Chamberlain could and definitely did get to 100, which there's already a laundry list of proof from that game. I don't know why this would be the determinant.
No, it's not. There's no laundry list of proof. It's just pieces of paper. I can print one today if I wanted to and pretend like it was proof. No. If it was, you know what the proof was? The games that were televised. Visual proof. Or auditory. Radio. The fact that there's no... I would expect to be able to find with enough effort pointless games. Footage of pointless games in NBA history. The record-breaking points... I for sure 100% I expect to be able to find proof of that. Stop, bro. Stop.
Factor.
Stop.
But
if it's real, then show it to me.
Being ridiculed and dismissed,
it's that simple, bro.
Even if the criticism is justified, then so should the mythical 100-point scoring record.
Why would they make it up?
Because the way that Bam got his points...
Why would they make it up? For views, for publicity, for clicks, for interest, right? Have you seen a more viral moment since Luka Doncic trade than Bam getting 83 points? I haven't. It's the most viral moment since Luka getting traded. Come on, gang. If you're trying to get your ratings up, you want to do something viral. Duh. You can't farm LeBron forever.
Is the exact method Wilt used to get his. Like, literally, bar for bar. During the final minutes of Heat Wizards, Keyshawn Johnson intentionally missed a free throw in hopes that the Heat would get the rebound to get it back to Bam. This is exactly what the Warriors did for Wilt. The Heat also intentionally fouled while holding an insurmountable lead to get the ball back faster. The Warriors did the same exact thing to get Wilt to 100. If Bam's 83 points is invalid because of these tactics,
that means Kobe has the record.
For that same reason, so is Wilt's
Kobe
100.
has the record.
Not only did the two biggest scoring nights in NBA history deploy the most gimmicky, shameless tactics to pull it off, this is quite possibly the only way to pull it off. The only difference between Bam's 83 and Wilt's 100 is video cameras and an angry mob of critics online. Now, to be completely honest, I was thrilled to finally see a coach allow his player to chase a record and have himself a night that most players could only dream of.
Yo, Henny Houston, thank you for the gifty. You know what Bam just did? Bro, you open the floodgates, nigga. Luka Doncic dropping 90 before the next 5 years is up. Facts. SGA is dropping 85 in the next 5 years. Facts. If Bam Adebayo, yo, it's totally Mondo. Oh, Mondo, appreciate the 5 gifted. W's. If Bam Adebayo can get 83, nigga, Luka's thinking, nigga, I can get 115. I got a bigger bag. I can shoot better. I can attack the rim better. Everybody's gonna plan their record-breaking performance. Everybody's gonna plan their record-breaking performance around the Wizards' schedule.
You wanna know how many games I've watched that were spoiled by an early sub? A player being punished for giving too much belt to the opposing team.
We got an AP game night!
Yes! Because they were
put that in the title, please, Mons. Thank you so much.
Potential record shut down because it wouldn't be
I'm excited.
If this is what it takes to make up for all the times I had to watch Steve Kerr pull a player
I'm so
from a
excited.
game on the verge of a league record,
I actually bought Call of Duty this year. I bought Call of Duty just to play.
I'm just as surprised as you that I will now see Bam Adebayo's name above Kobe Bryant's for the rest of my days.
But
to see Bam have the audacity to stay in this
genuinely
game,
sickening. Oh, you stream together? Hold on, Phantom.
Emphatically do what no one else would dare was just as fun.
I'm in.
Which, by the way,
tell Phantom I'm in. Tell him I'm in.
Without exception, would choose to stay in the game and chase a record if their coach allowed them to. This just happens to be the rare.
I'm sick. It's sick. Look, I have one more thing I want to say, chat. I think that when you create a moment in history, whether it's winning a championship, breaking some sort of record, or doing something you never thought you could do, stop reliving other people's moments. Wilt did this. I'm tired of niggas doing this shit. Stop doing it. It's over, bro. I seen too many niggas try it. Have your own moment. Take your own flick. Create your own history. You feel me? We don't have to, unless it's like a meme, you don't have to recreate the next nigga shit, bro. Have your own moment, bro. Have your own moment, man. It's tradition. It's not. It's not tradition. Wilt didn't do it because it's tradition. He just created a moment. So just do the same, bro. It's not that hard, man. You know? For example, we ain't gotta say we did it. We don't have to say that, bro. We don't have to say that.